Hello everyone, thank you for having a separate note for my subject. I am Srimati, Assistant Professor, Dr. Ambedkar Global Law Institute, Tirupati. Today I am going to deal with issue of shares. Let me set the scene of a company. What is a company? Company is a voluntary association of people who contribute money for a common purpose. A company is an artificial person and having a separate legal entity. You know well this through last class. Let us now understand the basic concepts of company accounts. You know, the contribution of money by people forms the capital of the company and the contributor are its members. So, wealth in the form of money or other asset owned by a person or organization are available for a purpose such as starting a business, that is company, or investing in a business. Hence, the capital of a company is known as share capital and the contributors as shareholders. So, Indian Companies Act 2013 governs all companies and provides guidelines for them to adhere to. Now you know what is about share capital is. An amount of investment to start a business. Let us start with the meaning of shares. A share is not a sum of money but is the interest of shareholder in the company which has been measured by sum of money for the purpose of liability in the first place and the interest in the second place. Why? It's not money actually, but it is the interest of the shareholder in that particular company. Why? Just for paying the liability and not for the interest. Let us see the definition which has been given by the Companies Act 2013. The Act 2013 defines under section 2 subsection 84. A share has a share in the share capital of a company and it includes stock. What it is? A share in the share capital. So, the share capital of a company is divided into units of smaller denominations. So, each such unit is called a share. It entitles the holder to ownership in the company. In general, what is share? Share in the share capital. Let's move on to the types of share capital shown in the balance sheet. The first share capital which has been shown in the balance sheet is authorized or nominal capital, or else we can say the registered capital at the time of registration of company under the Companies Act 2013. Authorized capital is the amount of capital with which the company registers itself and also states this amount in the memorandum of association. You know what is memorandum of association, articles of association, the main documents of a company. So, it is the maximum amount of capital beyond which the company cannot issue shares to the public. However, the company may issue shares on an amount more than a nominal capital if it increases the nominal capital by altering the capital class in the memorandum of association. The next capital is issued capital, the capital which a company offers to the public for subscription. Also, it includes the shares that the company allotted to the vendors or promoters of a company for consideration other than cash, that is for kind or consideration other than cash. In the balance sheet under the head issued capital, the company needs to state the different classes of share capital including the subclasses of the preference shares. Next is unissued capital. The portion of authorized capital which is not issued for subscription is called unissued capital. And the next capital is subscribed capital. It is the amount of capital for which the company receives the subscription from the public and makes the allotment to them. It can be equal to or less than the issued capital. Called up capital. It is the amount which the company calls from the shareholders to pay on the shares. Usually, the company does not call the full amount at once from the shareholders. Hence, the portion that the company calls is called up capital. Uncalled capital. The remaining portion of issued capital which is not called up is known as uncalled capital. The next one is paid up capital. It is the amount that is paid by shareholders. This amount we could include in the balance sheet total. This may be less than or equal to the paid up capital. Why? Because there may be some advanced payment or there will be some calls in arrears. So it may or may not be equal to the paid up capital. The next capital is the reserve capital. The part of uncalled capital with a limited company by special resolution has declared to be called up only in the event and for the purpose of winding up of a company. You know what is winding up? That is ending up of a business. At that time only that capital will be called up. That is known as reserved capital. And what you are seeing is a balance sheet of any company which will be shown as such. Say for example, it is a balance sheet. The left side is capital and the liability, right side asset and rupees. The portions or items which has been included in capital and liability is the authorized capital. As I said, it should be differentiated with the denomination, that is which share at which rupees each. And then the same way issued capital is there and subscribed capital is there, called up and paid up capital is there. As I said earlier, there will be a calls in arrears or calls paid in advance. That should be adjusted with the paid up share capital, and then finally the balance is taken to the liability total. Until now we have seen the share capital. Now we are going to see the types of share capital. As per section 43 of Companies Act 2013, the share capital of a company can be of two types. The first one is equity share capital and the second one is preference share capital. What is the equity share capital? It consists of equity shares. So the equity shares are shares which are not preference shares. This carry a maximum called risk and rewards of the business. Here the shareholders receive higher profits, they receive payment of higher dividends and appreciation in the market value of shares. While in case of loss, there exists a higher risk of losing part or all the shares. The equity share capital may be with their voting rights or with a differential rights related to dividend, voting or any other right. Another share capital is preference share capital. Preference share capital consists of preference shares. As per section 43 subsection B of Companies Act 2013, the preference shares are shares which carry preferential right. What are the preferential rights? The preferential right to receive dividend. This is the company will first make payment to the person holding preference shares at a fixed rate of amount than the equity shareholders. They receive dividend before the equity shareholders. Next right is right to payment of capital at the time of winding up of a company, as they receive repayment of capital before repaying the equity shareholders. We say the preference shares are entitled to a fixed rate of dividend or amount of dividend. The rate of dividend on equity shares depends upon the amount of net profit available after payment of dividend to the preference shareholders and the fund requirements of the company for future expansion, etc. Let us see preference shares classification. The first classification of preference share is cumulative preference shares. These are preference shares which carry a right to receive arrears of dividend before the company makes payment to equity shareholders. In case when in particular year a company incurs a loss, in the next year when the company arrives a profit, then the preference should be given for the payment to the preference shareholders before it is deciding to give payment to the equity shareholders. Non-cumulative preference shares. These are preference shares which do not carry the right to receive arrears of dividend, as not like cumulative preference shares. And the next classification is participating preference shares. The Articles of Association, the important document of a company, Articles of Association may provide that after paying a dividend to the equity shareholders, the preference shareholders will also have the right to participate in the remaining profit. Thus, the preference shares carrying this right are participating preference shares, which means the company, they are just paying the dividend, first preference dividends to the preference shareholders and balance amount to the equity shareholders, and if any leftover is there, remaining part of profit is available, in that profit the preference shareholders also having the right to participate, that is participating preference shares. Non-participating, they do not carry such a right to participate in the profits remaining after paying the equity shareholders. And the next classification is convertible preference shares. Those shares have the right to conversion into equity shares in any number of years, or it has been decided by the management through the rules and regulations which has been laid down in the Articles of Association and Memorandum of Association. Non-convertible preference shares, those shares do not have any right to conversion into equity shares. It will be remain the preference shares until the winding up of a company. Unredeemable preference shares. What is redeemable? Buyback. The company buybacks its shares after a specific time, not exceeding 20 years from the date of issue for the repayment. Irredeemable preference shares. These are not redeemable, thus the company pays the amount only at the time of winding up of a company, so it may not redeemed before the company wind ups. Now you could easily differentiate what is equity share and what is preference shares. For payment of dividend, equity dividend is paid after paying the preference dividend. Preference dividend having the priority than the equity shareholders. Refund of capital. The equity share is refunded only after refund of preference share capital. The preference shareholders has prior right to refund the capital over the equity capital. The rate of dividend. The rate of dividend may be over the year in equity shares, but in case of preference shares, the rate of dividend is fixed for every year. Now we see how the company issue shares to the public, that is under the head of issue of shares. When a company wants to issue of shares to the public, the prospectus must be issued by the company. You know what is prospectus? Please go through your previous class books, okay, if possible board books. So all the information of the issue of shares are stated in the prospectus. The issue of shares may be made by the company in a following mode. What are the following mode? That is under the two mode the company issues. That is issue of share for cash. And the next mode is issue of share for consideration other than cash. That is for cash it has been issued to the public, friends and other financial institutions. In the next case, issue of share for consideration, that is other than cash, to the vendors at the time of purchasing of machines, land, buildings, something like that. Then for underwriters, that we will explain later, and for others, whoever purchasing the shares, whoever selling the goods for the shares. So the issue of share is for other than cash. The terms of issue. Each and every issue by the company is under the terms and condition which are stated in the prospectus issued by the company. The shares may be issued either at par or at a premium or at discount. So how to get the shares? Application for shares. Those persons who are interested in purchasing the shares on the basis of terms and conditions which is given in the advertisement may get an application form along with copy of prospectus from a bank of the company, and after he fills the application and remits the application money along with the filled in application to any one bank of the company. So the application money should be at least 5% of the face value of shares applied for. This is the old format before the Digital India comes into, but now the application can be filled through digital mode and payment could be transferred immediately and it has been sent to the company within a minutes. After receiving the application, what the company does? It has to make the allotment of shares. So after receiving the receipt of application, for share allotment of share is made on the terms and conditions which has been stated in the prospectus application. After the allotment of shares, the applicant of shares become shareholder. The directors of the company may accept either fully, partly or reject the application form of that particular shareholders. Here we have to see certain provisions relating to a public company. The public company cannot allot shares unless the company receives a minimum subscription which as stated in the prospectus has been received. So what is the minimum subscription? According to SEBI guidelines, 90% of application money must be received by a company. Unless otherwise, it should not allot the shares. And the next point is the prospectus or a statement in lieu of prospectus in case of a private company has been filed with the registrar before making the first allotment. And the next point is the application money received is at least 5% of the face value of shares and the amount is to be deposited in a scheduled bank. See, the application is issued, allotment is made to a shareholder. Now the company wants to demand the call money. That is, when a company, whatever amount is demanded after allotment is known as call money. The company may demand the part of uncalled capital after allotment from the company's member by making 1 or 2 or 3 calls. I think now you are able to understand what is about a shares application, how it has been allotted, how it has been called out and paid off. Let us see how the entries are made in the books of a company. That is journal entries for issue of shares in company accounts. The first journal entry is on receipt of application money. What journal entry is? Bank account data to share application account. Here we are debiting the bank account and crediting the share application since where it has come from. And the next one is for transfer of share application money to share capital account. We have to transfer the application money to share capital account. So debit the share application account and credit the share capital account. And the next one is for making an allotment due. So what is the allotment due? We have to make allotment due account data to share capital account. And for receipt of allotment money, bank account data to share allotment account. For making a first call, the first call account data to share capital account. This is for due. Then on receipt of first call money, then bank account data to share first call account. And then for amount due on second call and final call, it may extend to any number of calls, usually the 1, 2 or 3 calls only. So the third call we used to say final call. So the share second or final call account data to share capital for due amount. On receipt of second call or final call, bank account data to share second or final call account data. Then for formation expenditure, you know what is formation expenditure? Company formation expenditure. For that expenditure, the preliminary expenses account data to bank account. Okay, I hope you are writing these journal entries in a separate notebook and you keep it on for the next chapters and the next proceedings what I am going to do with issue of shares at premium, par and at discount. Hope you enjoy this class. Until next, it is bye from Srimati. Thank you.